Hey, what's going on, world? This is Kayce reporting for DontComply.com. Today's story is on Supreme Court rules 8-1 that citizens have no protection by the Fourth Amendment. This case was a man versus the state of North Carolina, and it goes back to traffic stops, how you always commonly hear, whether it's a traffic stop or on the street, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Well, now the Supreme Court says ignorance of the law is no excuse, but that only applies to the citizens. The government allows their own enforcement agents who go out and pull people over and do things to make mistakes, even if those mistakes meant the individual that was stopped didn't break a law. So I'm going to screen share this article and give you a little backstory, and then I'm going to give you my full opinion on it. Let's go. All right, this article right here that I'm sharing from comes from freedomoutpost.com. The link is at the top for your viewing pleasure. Going down, Supreme Court rules 8-1, citizens have no protection against Fourth Amendment violations by police ignorant of the law. Here we go. In a blow to the constitutional rights of citizens, the United States Supreme Court ruled 8-1 in Heien versus the state of North Carolina that police officers are permitted to violate citizens' Fourth Amendment rights if the violation results from a reasonable mistake about the law on the part of the police. Acting contrary to the venerable principle that ignorance of the law is no excuse, the court ruled that evidence obtained by police during a traffic stop that was not legally justified can be used to prosecute the person if the police were reasonably mistaken that the person had violated the law. The Rutherford Institute had asked the U.S. Supreme Court to hold law enforcement officials accountable to knowing and abiding by the rule of law. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, the court's lone dissenter, warned that the court's ruling means further eroding the Fourth Amendment protections of civil liberties in a context to where that protection has already been worn down. As you see, that could be a big problem out there on the streets for the livelihood of everyone here in the United States. By refusing to hold police accountable to knowing and abiding by the rule of law, the Supreme Court has given the government officials a green light to routinely violate the law, said John W. Whitehead, president of the Rutherford Institute and author of the award-winning book, A Government of Wolves, The Emerging American Police State. This case may have started out with the improper traffic stop, but where it will end, given the turbulence of our age, with its police overreach, military training drills on American soil, domestic surveillance, SWAT team raids, asset forfeitures, wrongful convictions, and corporate corruptions, it's not hard to predict. This ruling is what I would call a one-way, non-refundable tick to the police state. Here's the cover right here for the Supreme Court case, so you can look back and reference. The link is at the top, so you can check it out, and I'll give you my commentary. So just like the gentleman in the case, let's just say in North Carolina, you end up in a situation where the guy was pulled over because he had one brake light out. But at the time, state law said that you only needed one operational brake light to operate a motor vehicle on the road. So in fact, he was not in violation of the law, but he was pulled over for that infraction, and subsequently they found drugs in his vehicle, and everything else went downhill from there. So you end up in a situation where the initial stop was not lawful because no law had been broken, but as you see, that doesn't make a difference. See how situations like that are very ripe for abuse. You end up where people can literally be pulled over for anything now, and it doesn't matter. It just gives, like it said in the article, a one-way ticket, and it's really non-refundable. This erosion on liberty is something that is not going to stop, and we need to get the word out there, and I'm depending on you guys to read these articles, see these stories, get the word out there, get informed. DontComply.com. It's Kayce signing out. Peace.